Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox back with another episode and our new season of The Magnificent Seven Rides Again. Today, I'm thrilled to have back with me Elaine Capers. Elaine, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
Elaine, we're recording this in late October. And of course, the Magnificent Seven Rides Again show has concluded. I wanted to really start with what were your reflections on this year's show?
Oh, this year's show was fantastic. We had so many people come through, and our colors and our subject matter were varied and beautiful. We just had the best time and visited with people from all over, and they said that they were excited to see the show again this year. So I think we've made a real impact with the community and with the area, and I think a lot of that is due to your podcasts, and we thank you so very much.
That's the award winning
The
Magnificent,
award-winning, absolutely.
award winning indeed. Uh, did you sell any paintings?
Yes, yes,
Always good to know.
absolutely. My area was very successful.
In terms of the people who came to the show, did you sense that there was kind of a new group from last year? There's seems to be a fairly dedicated cadre of people like myself who come to shows regularly who appreciate art. But did you see some new faces this year?
Yes, we saw many new faces. We had returning patrons and lots of new faces. And it was so great to see people who said, "We heard about it from last year. We didn't get to come last year, and we knew we were not gonna miss this year."
Did you have any of sort of the wide-eyed 8-year-old girl or 8-year-old boy that you were able to engage and find out what moved them about the art?
Yes, especially Deanna Eixman. She had lots of baby animals in her small paintings, and the kids really were drawn to that, and you could see that wide-eyed wonder in looking at her baby animals.
What were some of the highlights of the show for you, Elaine?
Oh, visiting with new people, I got a couple of commissions from people that I had never met before, and that's always such a compliment. Paintings were sold to people that I had never met, and then I got commissions from those same people, and it was, "We like your work. Do you think you could do something from this photograph in the same style that you have done this painting?" And what a compliment, what a compliment.
Were there any other people from what you would call West Texas?
Um, I had family come, and they were all cousins and brothers and their wives, and all of that, of course, is West Texas.
What I was really intrigued about is what does an artist do, and specifically, what do you do after you have a very big show that you've worked on literally for a year? It's done very well, both in terms of reception and sales, and now I find out even commissions going forward. Is there a letdown? Do you just finally have the chance to breathe, or does it so inspire you, you sit down the next day in front of an easel? Or maybe all of the above?
All of the above, yes. Uh, at the end of the artist reception, and you've seen friends and family and you've met new people, then I went home and had a glass of wine and went to bed. And for a few days, it was just an unwinding process. And I would tell my sweetheart, Tommy, "Okay, I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. We've talked about it enough." And then 15 minutes later, we'd be talking about it again and again. And then I would start thinking about, "Okay, what am I gonna do next year?" And already thinking about, "Okay, I've done a lot of West Texas. We need to go to some different places." And we already have booked Lost Maples for the 2nd week in November, which is supposed to be the highlight of the leaves turning. I don't know that we will have had enough cool weather for them to turn, but we're gonna give it a try, and then we'll think about where else we want to go in the next few months that'll be something a little different from what I've done.
And that really leads to an area I wanted to explore with you, the fall
Uh-huh.
time of the year, as opposed to obviously winter, spring, or even summer when you were preparing for this show, recognizing the style in which you paint because of where you are from that we've had the chance to visit about before. Will the fall be something different for you? Is it a continuation or growth from other areas?
I love the fall. The fall is my favorite time of year. I love the colors of the fall, but I hope to be able to capture the spring in West Texas because I've bragged about that spring, and so we'll watch the weather very closely in West Texas. I have cousins that live in Fort Davis, and we can jump in the car and go to Fort Davis when we see it might be raining and catch those wildflowers the next day after a rain. But I'd love to just hit some of the rivers in the hill country, the Frio and the Medina, and catch those as they're flowing and the ball cypress are beginning to turn, and catch those beautiful colors, the oranges and the golds, and get a lot of the fall in the hill country.
Any maybe new directions you might wanna go for next year?
Maybe work a little bit more in watercolor. Tend to stick with oils because it's what I'm comfortable with, what I'm familiar with, and maybe challenge myself a little bit more with watercolor.
I think I've known you now for at least 2 years, maybe 3,
Uh-huh.
but that something you just said about your own growth as an artist, could you say a few words about that? Has it just been sort of organic? I wanna try something new. I feel more comfortable. All of the above, or maybe none of the above?
I'm always wanting to challenge myself to do something, if not new, something better. I feel like I'm always growing. When I retired, my challenge was to paint a little bit every day, even if it's just a stroke or two. And I could see how I was growing just by painting every day. And other people could see that I was growing by painting every day. When I first moved to Kerrville, there was a workshop at the Kerr Arts and Cultural Center by a lady who I really admired her work. And it was a $200 workshop. And I was living hand to mouth. I thought, do I want to take the workshop or do I want to buy groceries and eat or take the workshop? So I checked the cabinet and I had beans and I had rice and I thought, I won't starve. So I took the workshop and learned a lot about painting trees and clouds and bluebonnets. Fell in love with the instructor, and fast forward 20 years, and I paint with the group at the senior center on Mondays. And this lady that was teaching the workshop paints with this group on Mondays. And now I get her advice for free. And she still is giving the same advice that I got from that workshop. And I get the same good advice every Monday for free. And I have come such a long way from do I eat or do I take the workshop? And I have grown so much throughout that time. And so every day I paint a little bit every day.
I believe I read or received a text message that the Magnificent Seven will ride again in 2025. Did I get that correct?
You got that correct.
What do you hope to bring to next year's show, or will it be sort of a continuation of the things you've talked about here?
It will be a continuation of what we have done and what we love. We hope to always hope to have brand new things to bring to the show. And I know you saw the brand that we had made this year, and I've not discussed it with the other ladies, and this is just something that we can toss out. Uh, but I was thinking it would be a neat title for our show next year that we ride for the brand. And I don't know if the other ladies will like that idea or not, but I'm gonna throw it out there for them.
Whatever you name it, we will definitely follow it. Elaine, it's so nice to be able to sit down with you again. I wanted to thank you again, and I can't wait to see what you come up with.
Oh, it'll be exciting, whatever it is.
Thank you.